Welcome, welcome, welcome to another week of Shine with Dorothy-Inez, where every week my goal is to bring you information, inspiration on beauty, business, and spirituality. And this whole month is all about spirituality, and I'm kicking it off with let me go back. I'm kicking it off with my guest, self-care coach and sound healer, Clem Lafrades. And today we're going to talk about business and spirituality. Do those two things go together? We are going to talk about it. So get your girlfriends, invite your friends, share this video, and tune in for this juicy conversation. So are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for Miss Clem Lafrades? I know I am. And again, if you haven't shared, share this out with your friends. Get them on here. Give us some love today. So let me tell you about Miss Clem Lafrades. Clemence is a self-care life empowerment coach and sound healer with over 20 years. I mean, 20 years. I used to be one of her clients in the fitness industry. She works with the body, spirit, and mind to help her clients heal so they can create success and remember their identity. Their divinity, so they can access their limitless manifesting, co-creating powers with divine source. So join me, give her a big round of hearts, Miss Clem Lafrades. And let me tell you, before I bring her on, she's coming to us live from her healing tent in Auburn, Washington. Give her some hearts, Miss Clem Lafrades. Hey, girl! Hey! I saw you backstage getting your jam on, girl. I saw you.
You have some good music in the beginning. I just wanted to shake up all the energy centers.
That's that sound healing already,
Indeed, indeed.
So I'm so glad to have you. I always loved being able to interview you, and it's like, Clem, each time I've interviewed you, it's like this different. We've been in this game together for like 12 years. And just each time you and I have both evolved. And so it's been wonderful watching you evolve to this place. Yes. So I'm going to just dive in, Clement.
Yes. I'm ready.
I know, because girl, you and I can talk. We like to talk, okay? So tell the women, I mentioned earlier that you spent 20 years in the fitness industry. Tell us about that journey, a little bit about that journey, and how, what happened, Clem, that made you transition into like a completely different field of sound healing and spirituality.
Jeez. 26 years to be exact in fitness.
20.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
You just recently completely finished, right?
Yeah, and I retired about 3 weeks ago. I gave in my resignation to my clients, and I loved my clients. They were with me on my last day. I had a client that was with me for 13 of those 26 years, and one of them was 10. I mean, it was like crazy. We shut our gym down in last year in June, and then we went straight to Zoom in March when the lockdown happened.
Yep. I was there.
Yes, all the way from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And
you're like, where the hell is she now? She moved.
Where is she now? So And I started at 19. It was just for my own personal journey of trying to get healthy, find my self-confidence in my body, feel my power, feel my strength in my body. I just didn't have that that upbringing of confidence. You know, a lot of upbringing of self-criticism from my elders, from my parents. One thing I do want to add is you can never make anyone happy, so stop trying.
Oh, girl, repeat that for the sisters.
You'll never, ever make everybody completely happy, so stop trying. I lost weight, did bodybuilding contests. I even used to produce bodybuilding shows. When I'm heavy and overweight, my mom is saying, why are you so fat? And then when I am, competing and getting on stage, why are you so skinny? You're going to be sick. So it's like, you can't make everybody happy.
Right.
Just make yourself happy. So I'll start there. But I was on that journey of trying to discover, I was 19, feel good in my body, feel good in my skin. And I created a lot of victory for myself, and I just realized out of the process, anybody could do this. Everybody can do this. We all have the power. I'm not special. I mean, I'm special, but I'm not different from anyone else. Like we all came from divine source. We all have this supernatural power above our physical. Like we tend to think of our body is who we are, but it's not. We're above this. So if we know we are, we can do anything we want to do with this avatar. And so when I started seeing success, I wanted to help others. And that's the same thing with sound healing. Is I over years of owning my own business, having brick and mortar, having employees, having lots of clients, I found myself in depression, which I didn't know I had. I had to be told.
Yeah, people like us don't get depression, right?
And then we're like, what happened? Why am I, anyways. And I had an anxiety attack, a panic attack that I thought was death. I was on the floor in my office and I couldn't speak. I couldn't yell out for help. I couldn't move. My muscles were gone. I couldn't stand up and get up. And I thought, oh, I must be having a heart attack and I'm dying. And I was scared and I was worried at first. And then, the realization is like, I can't stop it. It's happening. So I let it pass through me and I let it happen. And at that moment of peace, I said, God, just let my kids know that I love them. Let Alfred know where all the passwords are so he can pay the bills.
Gotta let him know those passwords.
And make sure they're okay. And then when I allowed and released, surrendered, and let go, the muscles came back. I was able to breathe again. And then I was able to yell for help. Well, at that point, I didn't need help, so I didn't yell for help. But I was able to get up and speak again. And then I realized, oh my gosh, that was my mental health. Like my brain shut down my body for me because it could not. It was overloaded, overstressed, but I didn't know. I thought it was a normal, everyday business.
Because so many of us, we really thrive and we love saying, oh, I'm so busy. And we can end up in this place that you're talking about. I've been there too, Clem. That's why, I had to do a session because your chest starts tightening and you just get so caught up in that hustle. And so sorry, I just had to relate with that.
Yes, and I forgot. Yeah, it did. Like I said, it felt like a heart attack because really the chest felt like it was caving in. And I was in it for about 5 to 10 minutes, which is a blessing, I think, because I've talked to other clients and they said they went all day, went to the emergency room and everything, did tests, and the doctors keep telling them they're fine, but they're like, I can't breathe. So... But I knew instantaneously after it was gone that it was my brain, that my brain shut the rest of my... But I had been studying the brain, the neuroplasticity, and I've been studying neuroscience already, so I knew it. But for the majority of people, they would just like, oh, it's an anxiety attack, it just happens. Like, no, your brain is overloaded.
Right.
So that's where I was led to two therapists. I was seeing two therapists.
Hey, those therapists, I mean,
Hey,
and especially in this day and age, Clem, I love that you're talking about this, the mental health piece of it, because so many people feel shame about saying, I needed help, I needed a therapist, and there's nothing wrong with that. I found partnering therapy with the kind of work that you do,
yeah,
man, very synergistic
it
and
is.
healing, because I would have those panic attacks, Clem. I remember, like what you were saying, going to the hospital thinking I was having a stroke because my entire left arm was completely numb.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
this work that you're doing is very vital.
I brought in a therapist for my business to help the
Hmm.
staff
Hmm.
and me and the organization, and then I brought in a therapist just for me privately, and then everything kind of led to all the reading material led to meditation. Like I would say,
Mm.
give me something to study. Like, how do I fix this? And everything led to meditation, which is funny because one of my clients said that when she went to the hospital to emergency room for an anxiety attack, she thought it was a heart attack. Also, the emergency room doctor told her to meditate
Wow.
and
Yeah.
actually prescribed meditation to her because
Mm.
she was in emergency for over six
Versus a
hours.
Xanax.
Yeah, exactly. And so once I started going down that meditation route, which I was, being from the upbringing or the religion I was steeped in, I was gonna like, no, we were told not to do that. But the science of it, I'm
Mm.
such a logical person that it made sense. Like I have a good balance now after this during this spiritual journey of masculine and feminine.
Mhm.
I'm more balanced now. So the masculine side of me or the logical side of me thought, okay, science. It makes sense with science. So I went into the
Right.
spirituality realm through the science realm.
Mm. Beautiful, beautiful. So you're doing this, you're out in this tent, okay? And you're surrounded by bowls.
I
Tell us
am.
about, first of all, why singing bowls and what kind of magical power, so to speak, healing power is in these bowls.
Scientific power also.
Scientific,
Okay.
magical scientific power.
I was raised Catholic, am Christian, or Christ follower, and studied the Bible backwards and forwards so many times. And in the Bible, it talks about how the Word, in the beginning of the Bible, it talked about the Word created, manifested the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
And so at first I was like hesitant, but then I couldn't resist how it just made me feel so calm and released, which as a Capricorn that likes to go, make things happen. I'm a doer, I'm a accomplisher, I'm a goal getter.
I mean, I'm
Um,
telling you, I just have to tell our audience, I know this beautiful woman for a long time. And when she's telling you she was go, 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 hustle, hustle, to see her in this place, it is such a beautiful place, sis, to see you in.
Thank you. Thank you. It came over years. I had to have that anxiety attack. I call it all joy. Thank you, God,
Mhm.
for allowing me to experience it so I know this richer, more faith, trust, relaxed, allowing feminine energy, divine feminine energy to allow me to be way more powerful than I have ever felt in my whole entire life. And so with sound healing, though, just to go back to that question, sorry I veered off.
Okay.
With sound healing, it's just so relaxing. And the more that I did the study of the power of sound and frequency, more I learned about how everything is energy and everything is vibrating. Everything that is alive vibrates. And so each organ in our body has a frequency, and scientifically has been tested with meters. Each, and you can tell when a heart is not a healthy heart, or is going to soon experience a heart attack or heart disease, because the frequency lowers and changes. Like even our kidneys are, every organ has a frequency, and so even the earth does. The earth is 7.36, the Schumann.
And I found it amazing that we vibrate at the same frequency as the earth.
Right, when we're in coherence and we're healthy, and the lightning strikes the earth so it can replenish our energies. But we can raise our energies as we go inward. The kingdom of God is within, right? So we go inward. We're always searching, and that's what creates this anxiety and this panic, is we're always going outside of us. Outside, if I just make one more post, if I just send one more email, if I just do one more, if we're constantly searching outside of us, and it creates this kind of friction.
Yeah.
This tightness.
I know exactly what you're about.
This tightness, this.
Yeah.
And then this stress in our body lowers our health. It lowers our ability to move in our great power on this earth, because if we are actually in peace, in our centeredness, in our faith, in our trust, in our relax and let be, we actually create more. We're actually able to be a conduit for more creation, for more God-inspired, God-breathed inspiration into this world. But when we're so tight, this vessel gets so tight, we can't receive anything else.
And then all that busyness takes away from what you're saying, is that ability to hear, because like all the answers, as you know, they're all within. But when you're in that busy, that tight mode, well, you can't put something into a tight vessel. You have woosah, we saw it out. We have Ryan here on. He says he has a hard time slowing down and not being a workaholic.
Oh, me and Dorothy-Inez can identify with you, can relate.
Yeah,
we both.
If you're watching this live, or even watching on the replay, stay tuned, because Clem is going to give us a little sample. So she's going to give you a little 3-minute woosah once we, answer a couple of more questions. So stick around. So, so how has this work? How do you see this work helping someone with their level of success in business, Clem? How has, having a daily sound and spiritual practice impacted your level of success right now?
My goodness. I'm like meeting people that I've never met before. I have two clients in the UK. One of them, I never, just out of nowhere. The day that I put in my resignation, here's how faith works. Faith is doing something that just does not seem or look or sound logical, but you do it anyway, because there's this thing, there's this pull at your heart, at your soul. It could even be like an idea that popped in your head that made no sense, and you're just like, let me see, let's just see, let's take a step forward in faith and see what happens. And it doesn't have to make sense, right? And I just said, okay, I've been on Zoom doing fitness for a year. I have a feeling like this needs to be done so I can move forward in life. And I was trying to juggle both sound healing and fitness, and I just didn't feel aligned. I didn't feel I felt like I outgrew my old body, and like the Bible talks about, put on the new man, take off the old man. Right. And I just was holding on to a 26-year-old woman. I wouldn't take it off. And I'd been feeling it since 2017, and I just couldn't let her go. But this time it was like, just do it. The day I gave my resignation to my clients, I got someone out of nowhere that I'd never met before in Oakland, California, went on my website and made a private appointment on Zoom to do a sound healing session. And then a week later, I made another announcement publicly to Facebook that this is it, 26 years done. And someone in New York that I never met before made an appointment on my website at 1 a.m. So it's like the things that when I was in not balanced, meaning I was more masculine, divine masculine energy than feminine energy. Divine masculine is my go-getter, make it happen, just push it through, get it done, just strive, motivated, all that stuff. And then my feminine energy, which I had to learn to get in touch with, because I was not familiar with divine energy, the divine femininity. I was raised in a household of, being second generation here from another country. First generation people come here to just survive, and make stuff happen. And so I grew up in that energy of like, there's no time for tenderness. There's no time for love. There's no time.
I feel you, girl. I came from that too.
There's no time for all that. We don't listen to downloads. We don't slow down enough to hear. And so now that I have this beautiful balance of masculine and feminine, I can allow myself to be guided, divinely guided, and hear things that make no sense, but my divine masculine will say, okay, let's just go see what happens and let's do it. But then allow myself to relax and have faith about it, and not be in that anxiety, stress, trying to control. I was a control freak, and I'm not, I was. Past tense.
You're recovering control freak. And I think it's important that those watching, because we do have some men watching, is to understand that that we all have masculine and feminine, because we're talking about energy. And so it's just one is in flow, and one, the masculine helps us to get things done. So that's why Clem's saying we need to have that strength. We need to have both of those to be a balanced being. And I want to just point out quickly before Clem does her demo that Clem's decision, and Clem, you can elaborate if you'd like just a little bit before you play, is that Clem also did other work on her journey. She didn't just jump from the gym to the sound healer. There was a progression of work. You went, I'll never forget when you called me up and you shared about going to, I think it was Joe Dispenza's event. I feel like that was the catalyst.
Well, even before that, going to Costa Rica and doing shamanism.
You did the thing with the shaman, and then you had that experience. But the one that stood out for me, because it was such a faith journey, that you wanted to be a part of that Joe Dispenza event. You didn't have a reservation. I think you had your ticket, but just how you jumped on a plane and you were like, I have to be at this event, and everything fell into place. And you came back and you told me about this amazing, from the ayahuasca to this,
it had been a journey.
It was phases. So I want people to know that you have to be willing to do the work, because as you can see, it allowed Clem to fully align with her soul's purpose. And you can also see your purpose evolves. Clem is still helping people feel good in their bodies. It's just how it looks is different.
Yeah, it was working with a therapist, then finding a meditation guru, and then the sound healing. But I'd had already for years before had been studying the brain and neuroscience, psychocybergenics. And then I fell into Joe Dispenza, and he's big on heart and mind coherence, and there's more neuro sensors in the heart than there is actually more neurosensors than the brain does. But I had learned that in shamanism, going to Costa Rica, but I just didn't get it because I was still all brainy than hearty.
Right. Oh, I remember, Clemens.
And then when I went to Joe Dispenza, I was like, oh, but see, I have to, for me and my character, I had to hear things from the science perspective of, oh, okay, medically, there's neuroscience. So then that. But to get to Mexico for Joe Dispenza, yes, I had already been working with my healer for a year and a half, Nakaila, and she had told me years ago that when I finally tap into my divine femininity, divine feminine power, I will be way more powerful. And I didn't understand what she meant, so I kept studying it. And I realized I lack faith, even though I've been studying Christianity and faith and thought I was in faith, but I wasn't acting in faith. You can think and know faith, but you don't feel faith. Two different things. Masculine, feminine, gotta get it aligned, right? So I was all up in here, and then I decided when I went to Joe Dispenza, I've been working on my business, really striving, and I didn't make the plans for I made the ticket to get there, but I didn't have hotel. I didn't have transportation. I didn't know where I was going to be staying. And even like the week before I went, I still didn't have. And the night before I was leaving LA to get there, because we stopped in LA first, I made a post and all the hotels were booked. There was no reservations. I remember the
Facebook Live that you did.
I was like, oh my gosh, there is no hotels anywhere available. Everybody sold out because thousands of people go see him. And I just made a post and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll just sleep in a rental car or something. But I'll just be happy to be there. And it came from a place of not worry. And that was so different from my past life. In business, I was always worried, how am I going to pay this big ass, this really big rent on this gym that I'm renting, this lease that I have. Like, I was always used to be worried about the next step, about how I'm going to make it the next day. I was always worried about the next day. And in this case, I was like, God, all I know is I'm going and you're going to have to take care of it. And that's magically
the beauty of this adventure with God, to just, do what you're saying. Well, God, I give it to you, and just to see what happens. And it just like builds and builds and builds your faith.
Oh, it builds the faith. Oh my God. The night before I got on the plane, someone messaged me and says that one of the girls in her room like backed out and couldn't come the night before.
Wow.
Like, I mean, I'm getting on the plane in 6 hours. And I got a hotel. And I'm like, well, I don't know where to meet you or what you look like.
But here we go.
But here I go. And I and now I feel so different with each step that I make. When I go to cities, I do it on purpose now. I go to Washington, D.C. I have no agenda. I used to be a travel planner, too, in my past life. So I used to plan every detail of every moment of on vacations for people and for myself. And so I do it on purpose now. I'll go somewhere and not have an agenda and allow God to bring me beautiful people and experiences that I, with my little brain, would have not been able to create on my own.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, all of you that are still here, you are about to be blessed with my sister's sound healing. So what I want you to do, Clem, if you want to take 5 minutes, whatever spirit is leading you, I'm going to sit down as well. Everybody get comfortable.
If you have headphones, that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah. If you have headphones.
Let me explain what these are. Let me explain what this is. These are crystal, and I have my metal bowls there on my massage table. I also do a sound massage where people lay on the massage table, and I put the metal bowls on them, and the frequency and the vibrations penetrate deeper than the muscles. Usually you get a massage, it just goes to your skin and your muscles. This, when the metal balls are on your body, it goes into the bones and into the organs. So the frequency and the vibration is doing it, is massaging even the organs. But today I have the quartz crystals, and each crystal has its own tone and a frequency. And I'm gonna just go back to this.
Wait, Clem, can I ask you really quick, just to explain, because I don't think we covered this. If you could just briefly explain how, like, because I believe the bowls are the notes that are on the scale.
Yes.
And then if you can just explain how do the bowls do their healing, because I know that the resonance can transform so I'm gonna let you speak just briefly on that.
So each bowl is its own musical tone and note, and with each energy center of the body, there's 7 main ones. There's a lot more, but there's 7 main ones. Each bowl corresponds to each energy center, and the goal is to uplift or recalibrate the frequency of that energy center. When you've gone through a hard day, maybe you heard something bad on the news, maybe you had an argument or a disagreement with someone, the frequencies of your energy bodies or your energy centers, they lower. So science is now finding this because now they have a way to measure. But in old Tibetan culture, they've always believed that sickness and dis-ease comes first from the energetic body, the energy body. And I love this in Dr. Joe Dispenza, which now makes sense to me because he explained it in science, that when you take a egg from, they studied eggs from a chicken. Where do eggs come from? Chickens. But there's a north and south pole when energetically doing the monitors of an egg. There's a north and south pole. So we have a north and south pole, and the electromagnetic field that comes from the egg, from the north, it's just like batteries, there's a north and south pole of a battery, just like the earth, north and south pole. There's that energetic field, it's called the electromagnetic field, that constantly flows. And when we're having issues in the day, issues in our mind, challenges we're going through, this electromagnetic field begins to weaken. And so these bowls, sound, and also words, singing. I put words on my water because I would drink the water and put it into my body. So sounds, be careful what you listen to and what you speak about. And remember that your body is 80% water. And so I want you to do me a big favor and Google Dr. Emoto water research or water project, Dr. Emoto water project. And you will see that he did a scientific study on water, what happens when you play positive music to water and negative music to water. What happens when you speak positive words to water, and what happens when you speak negatively to water. And he froze the water, put it under a microscope, and looked at the water crystals and how different they look. You'll be amazed. The positive words look like universal geometry, beautiful snowflakes, order, organized. And the words that said, I hate you, die, mean words, even thoughts. He did a study on just intention and prayer. He took a river water that was very polluted in Japan, totally polluted, and then had monks pray on it. No words said, just pray with intention. And froze those waters, and the difference was so amazing. And so as I play this, just remember that your body is 80% water. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. What you think about, what you say, and the music and the sounds that you put around you affect your health and affect your ability to manifest. And remember that you're always constantly manifesting. It may not be what you want to manifest, but it is based on the frequency and vibration of your energetic field. So our energetic field, our electromagnetic field that we create from our thoughts, our beliefs, change and transform even our physical body. DNA, reorganization of DNA, calling in finance, wealth, all energy, because money is energy. Love is energy. So if you're looking for greater and richer relationships, raise your frequency to the level of your dreams and your desires and your goals. Not by force, but by faith, and changing the way you love yourself and put love out into the world. Because love is the highest frequency, 528 hertz. When you put that out into the grid of our collective consciousness, which always starts from within yourself and for yourself, that is what returns back to you. So I encourage you today to raise your frequency and see yourself be reborn and raised again. I hope that was enlightening, educational, and also relaxing. I also have this triangle, and each bar of the triangle has a different note and different frequency, and you can kind of hear it vibrate. Science is now beginning to do more research on binaural beats, and you'll see a lot of that on Spotify. Helps people study and stay focused more. There's different frequencies that help you sleep better and heal, because you heal while you sleep. How'd that feel?
Wonderful. Just luckily I'm not laying down, because the last time we did our session I went to sleep.
Okay, so when we have sessions online or in person also, I do a portion where we do guided meditation, and I'm guiding her into her higher self, and I'm like, Dorothy-Inez, repeat after me, and she's
I'm over there.
You're like, Dorothy-Inez, she's
like,
gone.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, Holy Spirit, I just trust that she just needed to sleep and restore through sleep. She's connecting to her higher self in the dream world.
So Clem, that was beautiful. I'm loving that new, the triangle.
My
That's
little
just,
pyramid. Yes.
yeah, I could just feel that resonance coming through. So how can the viewers connect with you?
You can find me on Slay and Shine. It's slayandshine.com. Slay and Shine on Instagram. That's easy to find me. I'm also on Clubhouse as Slay and Shine. Facebook, Slay and Shine Sound Bath. I am on Facebook.
So are you still doing your Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday Clubhouse sessions?
No, I'm gonna make a new schedule, but I've been doing Monday with the collective consciousness, Monday meditation Mondays on Clubhouse. But follow me either on Instagram or on Facebook. I usually put out a schedule there and of what's available, and also my healing tent events in the healing tent. But even though you're not here in person, I hope you can feel what you felt here. Like, you don't have to be in the healing tent to get sound therapy and to go through the guided meditations that help you go deeper into your inner world, into your inner peace, into the seat of the soul, and remembering that the heart is the seat of the soul. It is the seat of the divine creator. This is in the heart. So I facilitate that journey for you and allow you to hear downloads and hear the inspiration and hear Holy Spirit guidance. But it takes time to sit and be with yourself and be intentional.
Right. Well, excuse me. Well, thank you so much, Clemence. I want to invite everyone to give Clemence some hearts, drop some hearts for her down there in the comments, show her some love. Let her know how you enjoyed today. Yes, yes. Let her know how you enjoyed her story, hearing about her journey. And again, connect with her on social media, because you can get a taste of this. She does these little pop-up sessions here and there, and so she's always letting you know where you can join in to get a little bit of sound healing in your life. So thank you, Clemence. I'm going to have you wait backstage for me, and again, be sure to give her some love. So that was so good. I hope you all enjoyed it. I want to invite you next week. I'm having Reverend Skip Jennings on with me next week. And Reverend Skip is a best-selling author. He's a yogi, he's all about meditation. And so we are going to be talking about, again, another healing conversation. This whole month is all about spirituality. It's my number one thing that I love the most. And for those of you that are interested in connecting with me, I want to invite you to check out my website at Dorothy-Inez.com. Check me out there. If you're in direct sales, struggling with confidence, I'm your girl to help you have more purpose, power, and presence as you show up and shine in your network marketing business. So until next week, sis, keep on shining.